Right, Taurus, you have got the Eight of Wands reversed with the Six of Cups reversed. What the hell's going on, Taurus? I'm not happy about this because I'm a Taurus. Um, I didn't like it. I'm not happy with that. I'm not having it. Six of Cups is a soulmate. It's when you've like got cups of love because they've been generated over many years. There's lots of nostalgia there. There's a sense of knowing that person really well. The Eight of Wands is fast action, progress, fast communication. When those two are reversed, if that was upright, that'd be gorgeous. That would be absolutely gorgeous. But reversed, Dad's back now from my sisters. When it's reversed, it's like, is this a soulmate? Like, what are these blocks and delays about? Where is this going? Like, are they my soulmate? Something might not be progressing the way that you want it to, or something might not be. Do you know, like, how you want new love or you want an existing love that's reconciling? You want it to follow certain protocols, you want it to follow certain procedures and the certain steps that are necessary so that you can enjoy those dating, like, period, like those dating times, like the dating period, like you want to do nice dates, you want to take the time to get to know each other, really enjoy that romantic phase. Something's getting in the way of it, and then it's making you doubt the connection, whether it's like for real or not. It could be like an unconventional situation, you know. But we'll see what else comes out. Just make sure that I know who you are. if you're not called Liverpool 30 Dan, like on your Gmail, just say who you are and that. And you can give me information about yourself or tell me what sign you are, or you don't have to tell me a thing, okay? Some people prefer to give context because they kind of want to get a certain take on something or certain answer or certain aspect of what's going on. Three of Pentacles reversed is a lack of cooperation. Three is a number of community. If this was a general reading, I'd say it's the workplace, okay? Because it's about teams coming together, cooperating, creating something beautiful, through like everyone doing their bit. Yeah? Yeah. Take all of the potato because there's another one in the oven. Sorry? You can take all of the potato because there's another one in the oven. There's like a tray of Dayfenware potato. In the oven? There's plenty out, so take that because there's another one in the oven. All right, right. Okay. Yeah, you can use what's out. Yeah. What about the one in the oven? Do you just leave that? Just leave it because the oven's off. You can take some of it if you want. Yeah, all right. The Three of Cups reversed then is like you want cooperation from your person, or you want cooperation from, people around you, like friends, colleagues, family members that you're kind of excited to sort of tell about this connection. Like you want them to be on board. You want everyone to be on board and help this forwards. And at the moment, we haven't got cooperation. So there could be some frustration there, and it's creating some doubt as to whether this is like, is this legit or am I being a mug? Like, am I being mugged off? Oh my god, what's going on? Do you know what though? In the Aries read, everything was reversed, and then in the outcome, it was very positive. So let's not panic. Let's not be dramatic. The Chariot upright is the major arcana for Cancer. The Chariot is all about being bold, protective, defensive, go on the offensive and go for what you want, make something happen, like with an empire, it's the emperor that jumps into the chariot and he's going to defend or he's going to take more territory and claim it. So there's a clear intention, there's ambition, there's energy, and there's action. Okay. With the chariot being reversed, it could be failure, loss, defeat at the last minute. So if you go out to battle and you don't win the battle, if your army's defeated, you didn't win. You didn't win the battle. So it's either like a reluctance to move on something and take action because you've got serious doubts based off of how things are going, or you tried and it's failed. It's either like, I'm not going to try, I'm not going to take that chariot and jump in it and do what needs to be done, or I tried and, I've hit like a pothole. If you live in the UK, I've hit a pothole and it's like turned my chariot over. Like I wasn't expecting that. Like I thought things were going to be different this time, or like I thought I was going to win, I was going to be victorious. Like what's going on? Um, yeah, because the story of Cancer the crab is really nice, like the astrological story, like the mythological story. It's about the crab leaping onto the foot of Orion, because Orion's like this womanizer that's like going after like whoever, and like the crab grabs onto his toes and is like, you know, gripping like death grip on Orion's foot, and he like kicks it into the sky. It's like really romantic, to be honest, because the crab's doing it to protect and defend and whatever. Oh, but it's reversed. I think you're really worried about like the future of this connection because you don't feel like you're in control of it. You don't feel like you want to protect it, but you don't want to be mugged off. And you also don't know if you can control all of the variables going on around it and within it. So let's see how they're feeling, because that's important. Hi, Yasmin. It's not like a live where you jump in and ask questions. It's a collective reading for each zodiac sign. I'm just on the sign of Taurus, but you can ask for a personal reading, or you can support the channel, watch the sign of your person, watch your sign, and then I will be doing live Q&As and memberships and all that from like mid-November. Right, they're coming out in the challenge position, Taurus, and it's a King of Swords, so it could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. They don't have to be. But a King of Swords, is it making sense? A King of Swords is it's very like heavy Aquarius energy. It's like a humanitarian energy, like, swords are communication, they're facts, they're knowledge, they're the truth. This person, from the body language, they're holding that sword in front of their face and they're sat very, very like calm, very steady, very sure. And they're blocking themselves, aren't they? Like, don't approach, don't come towards me unless you come in with the right intention, unless you're telling me the truth, unless you're going to be open and honest. unless you're going to do things by the book. Okay, so air signs are fantastic communicators. They're fantastic writers, orators. They're very persuasive. They're very motivational, very good at like public speaking because they speak from the heart, probably. Okay, even though they're a person of intelligence, intellect, logic, they're kind of pouring that into the knowledge and everything they have and everything they know is being communicated highly effectively from a place of truth, a place of honesty. You know, it's from the heart. So it's a strategic person. It's someone that's going to operate like in advance. Like, I'm going to plan these things and then I'm going to in advance think about how it could all go. And I'm going to like maneuver and strategically like go about like a chess match to get what I want, and I'll wait if I need to do it. It's not a brash person, it's not an impulsive person, it's someone who's gonna play by the rules and make the game work how they need it to, if that makes sense. In the challenge position, well, when they're reversed, it's someone that's manipulative. They could lie or they could block communication. Because swords, when they're wielded in the wrong way, with it with it being communication, we're trying to like either block someone, or trying to communicate in a way that's nasty, a way that's manipulative, lie. This is the challenge, okay, for them. Okay, so that makes sense. For them, they don't want to lie to people. They're a person of integrity. And this connection may mean lying to people. It may mean going behind people's backs. It may mean dancing around, you know, certain questions, like in order to explore what this is. So they're trying to manage everything. They're trying to manage the community, okay, whoever that is, if it's people that live with them, people that they're responsible to, people they work with. They're trying to manage it all, okay, friends, whoever it is, the community, the wider community, even like people, yeah, someone's like responsible for a club, a team, an association, organization, like as part of their hobbies or whatever, like they're trying to dance around everything and they don't like deceiving anyone. And they like to be organized, they like to be prepared, they don't like to make moves that could be reckless because there's a lot to lose. So that's the challenge for them, okay? Hi, Avad Hut. Hi, Sky Nexus. We've got the sun reversed. It's getting to this person, the fact that they feel like they're leading a double life, the fact that this can't be like out in the open, it's getting to them. It's a little bit, it's not awful, but it's not ideal. It's a little bit of a burden, okay? Because the sun upright is a naked baby, riding a horse bareback, giggling with the sun shining behind it in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. That's what the depiction is. So it's about being like naked as the day you were born, carefree, not having a care in the world, you know, like no worries, no qualms, not preoccupied over anything. The sun reverse is like a poor adult that's just overburdened, you know, with like the mortgage and work and the future and pensions and health and like doing the right thing and being responsible, adulting, you know, like it's that kind of like, I am a bit burdened actually. Hi Melba. Hi Krishna. This isn't a live where you jump in and ask questions. You need to look for a live Q&A if you want to do that. These are collective readings by zodiac sign. So you need to watch the sign of your person and watch your sign and follow the long-term narrative, or you can ask for a personal reading. It's £18 for a personal reading. It's in the channel description, the link to my PayPal, and you can ask a question there, and I'll send you a link to a private YouTube video that only you can see. Or you like the channel, you support the channel, and around November time, I'll be able to do memberships, live Q&As and all that jazz. But I highly suggest that you watch these collective readings because not every single one will resonate, but most of them will. And you'll get to know, if you do it long enough, you'll get to know what your person's going through, where their head's at week on week. You need to follow like the narrative of your person's life and your own life in order to see. That's going to give you the answer. Like, is it a yes or no this week? Is it a yes or no in a year's time, 2 years' time? It's honestly like that's how you'll get your answer. It'll tell you a lot. The 8 of Pentacles upright. The 10 of Wands. Oh, God. 5 of Wands upright. And the Ace of Swords. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, this person, there could be an air sign. The Sun is the major arcana for Leo. Forgot to say that, but they don't have to be an air sign or a Leo. They want to work on this. That's their intention. Okay, you see those work tools? You see those 8 of Pentacles? That's about the future. It's growth and expansion through hard work. Increments of time, money and energy being put into this. The 10 of Wands is the end of a very difficult cycle, something where there's been a lot of challenges, a lot of burden. Okay, those wands are literally dropping onto that skull's head. Like, that skull's head, that doesn't make any sense. Onto that skull, onto that person's head. Like, they've had enough. They've had enough, okay? They want growth and expansion in this connection. They're over the past. It's the completion of a cycle. The 5 of Wands is conflict, and the Ace of Swords is like, well, I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you what's happening, because this is what's happening. This is what I want. That's the truth. That's my honest, like, thoughts on the thing. It's my honest intention. It's what's happening, and you better just deal with it. Because that is a major truth, revelation, clarity, major confession. It's like, fuck all what you've got to say, because this is what's happening. And I want this, and I'm sick of like dealing with this past situation. I know that people have got like different things to say about it, but I want it, and I'm going to grow it, and this is my intention, and you better just deal with it. They're not confused. They're not confused. But, you know, you can see from the combination with that, like, there's someone that cares about the community. They'd prefer everyone to be on board. They don't like lying. They don't like deceiving people or dancing around stuff to avoid talking about it, you know. But if anyone's going to pipe up and have anything to say about it, they'll be the first to put them right. And that's the truth. And that's fact, because this means a lot to this person. They could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They could be a Leo. And look, if you're honest, if you're living authentically, then people are got to just accept that, haven't they? They've got to just accept it. They don't have to like it. They just need to receive the information and be supportive, because that's their job. If there's someone that loves you and cares about you, it's not their job to like upset you or make barriers or problems or try to like cock block or get in the way or put you off or challenge you. That's not their job to do that. It's their job to be supportive, and it's their job to pick up the pieces of that is the way that things go. But they're not supposed to decide anything for you. That's overstepping the mark. Let's get 3 for the outcome. Knight of Swords. Oh, coming in hot. Look at this. We've got a mythical beast, mythical creature that flies. We've got someone who's armoured up. And they're waving that sword. Look, their hair's flying in the wind. When there's clouds, this is about truth. Cutting through the crap. Swords of communication. There's a message coming. And I tell you what, that person's getting ready to swipe anyone that comes towards this connection, to dislodge it, to ruin it, to, you know, set a cat amongst the pigeons, to light fires under people. No, no, no. No, no, no. That's not going to be happening. They're going to defend it fiercely. And I think that's what you're going to want to see, Taurus, because of what's on your side is like lack of cooperation, stagnancy, starting to doubt whether this is like a soulmate or whether you're being like duped, whether you're being mugged off. That's true, Tendo. Very wise words. I'm just reading the chat. The person I was dealing with ended with a karmic. We then got close and now he's gone quiet. I'm leaving him. Oh, okay, so that period is like a dark night of the soul. So they're really working on themselves at the moment. It could be a long time before you hear from them, but you will do. If you know how someone looks at you, you know the way that they touch you, you know if they're in love with you. But sometimes people have got shit to deal with in a 3D reality and they can't just, you know, make stuff happen like just like that. It could be like a year or so. My twin flames just returned and circumstances are totally different. So that's what I mean, like, don't ask for a card to say yes or no, we're going to be married, because I could give you a no this week and a year's time give you a yes. Do you know what I mean? If you want to know, like, right now, are they thinking about me? Right now, like, what's going on? I can tell you that. But everything's movable, everything's changing all the time. Because people's circumstances are changing, external realities are changing in the wider world, within that community. People's health changes, people's finances, people grow personally, you know, grow professionally. Like, everything's changing, everything's variable. So you can't say on one day, on 1 week of the year, on 1 year of your life, is that person going to marry me? Because the answer's going to be different every month, every week. Do you know what I mean? It's not, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself, because that's so absolute and it's unrealistic. You're a different person to what you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Oh my God, I'm a different person. The way I think about things is different. What I think is okay is different. And my chances of being with this person that's now returned to me are very different. So you know, don't put that on yourself and be like, is it a yes or a no? And that's the end of it. Like, just say, like, are they thinking about me? What's going on with them at the moment? Like, what's happening next in this connection? It's a journey. Life's an absolute journey for everyone. So they're not doing things in a premeditated way, unless they're a narcissist or a karmic or something and they've plotted to get you. People are just feeling their way through. It's like the blind leading the blind, you know? The Five of Pentacles upright. The Five of Pentacles is... Five's not good, to be honest, in any suit. Five of Cups is grief, sadness, loss, regret. Five of Wands is conflict, arguments, you know, physical fights, drama. Five of Swords is arguments, verbal disagreements, fallings out. Um, Five of Pentacles is like a lack of money or feeling left out in the cold. If you think of Pentacles as increments of time, money, and energy. So in the outcome, someone could be delivering like swift and blunt communication, very, very fast, hasty messages. And it's about like a sense of lack of abundance in love and finance, being out in the cold. They could be putting people, oh, I've just noticed that window's broken there, that stained glass window. I never noticed that before. That's why I love tarot. I absolutely love tarot. Because this card is about, like, in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it's paupers outside of a church in the snow. And they have no money, they have no clothes on their back, they're poor, they need salvation, they need refuge, and they're outside this church that has like a lovely like multicolored stained glass with light beaming out of it, and it looks warm inside, and it looks caring and forgiving, and like I just feel like this person's prepared to put people out in the cold. They feel like they're being treated as like a pauper. They're being like put last. Their needs, their wants, their desires don't figure to like all of these people around them that supposedly care about them and love them. Let's get one more. I'm so glad my voice is better, because that was very difficult having to edit like every second of a video. Queen of Wands in the challenge position in the outcome. Queen of Wands can be a third party card, like the other man, the other woman. It doesn't have to be. It's fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And if we look at these three cards together, because they're in a row for the outcome, they could be putting an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius out in the cold. Heavy Sagittarius. Or it could be that you're a third party, this is how this connection arrived and came about. That was in the challenge. Queen of Wands upright is someone who's successful, confident, solar plexus activated. They go for what they want. They create goals. They make it happen. Whether that's people, places, things, career, health, whatever it is, like, it's a go-getter. It's fire energy. When it's reversed, it's someone who's accentuated in either direction. So it could be a lack of confidence, a lack of drive, a lack of libido, or it could be someone who's overbearing, aggressive, like overly passionate. When passion's too high, it spills over into anger, jealousy, bad temper, crossing boundaries. Like, this is the challenge. In the outcome, we've got someone delivering a truth and they're coming in hot to do it. It's to do with a lack of abundance, a lack of love, a lack of money, a lack of just a sense of lack. And then the Queen of Wands could be the other woman, or it could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in this person's life, that they're going to attack that person. And it could be a physical attack, an emotional attack, a financial attack. They're gonna like cut them down, like take them down a few pegs, teach them a lesson, put them back in their place. Why is this person showing up as the King of Swords in the challenge position? Dark side. Your dark side keeps you from enjoying the love that you have. Don't let it steal your joy. Yeah, because that goes with the Sun reverse. That's like stealing someone's joy. Goes with the conflict, the Ten of Wands, like endless challenges, burdens, obstacles. People could successfully get to your person, Taurus, and they could get in their head, they could annoy them, they could physically cause a lot of disruption for them, and that could make them very down, like they could suffer from depression, mood swings, you know, losing their temper, like that's your dark side, isn't it? You know, like moods that are very volatile, very like intense. I don't know why I'm looking at it, but this looks like a person who's got like headphones on when you pull them down around your neck. And they're like walking alone, just like, what the fuck? They're like, what is this? Like, what is the situation? Like, what have I got myself into? It's going to be a distraction and it's going to be chaotic for your person. But you know, in the outcome, they're going to defend this situation and they're going to put someone in their place, like big style. They could have children, they could be a homeowner, they could be married because they're showing up as a King of Swords. Kings and queens are people who have a lot of responsibility. They have people to answer to, people to provide for. They could be very successful in the workplace. They could be older than you, or they could be the same age, but you're both mature, like late 30s, early 40s, or more. Inner compass, trust your instincts to lead you in the right direction. Soul's compass, let intuition guide your steps, illuminating the life path meant for you. I mean, they're both the same, aren't they? It's like you've got to do what's right for you. You need to follow your instincts. You can't listen to all the noise. You can't worry about all the chaos. Follow your heart, follow your gut. You know, don't get all up in your head and let people like ruin this. Because people will. Some people do it for entertainment. Some people do it out of fear because they're projecting their insecurities onto you, thinking like something's catching, like it's going to happen to us, or like it's, you know, they're making it about themselves. Ooh. Expecting a new beginning. Hater. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. Someone is not happy that you are having a new beginning with this person and it's on their side. This person that's pissed off and they're going to make hell. They're going to make hell, but they're going to get cut down. They're going to get pulled down several pegs. They're going to get, you know, they're going to get what's coming if they try to make trouble, when they try to make trouble. Let's get a message from your person. If there's been no contact, could be no contact for a few days, could be months, could be years. Oh my God, twin flame. My person's a twin flame. You activated my soul to find my true purpose and destiny in life. You helped me heal in ways no one else could. Thank you for finding me again this time around. That's beautiful. Okay, so that you're not to feel bad, Taurus, because the person that's a hater of theirs is claiming that like they're wrong, what they're doing is unjust. You you know, they're a bad person or whatever. But how can you say that, like, this person should be with them when they don't actually like them, they hate them? It's like a karmic or someone that's not supposed to. They don't deserve them. They don't deserve them. They don't care about them. They don't know what's best for them, or they know what's best for them, but they won't let them have it. Me too. Me too. I'm gobsmacked. Um, you're mine. I get so pissed knowing other people can have you now. Is it toxic? Yeah, I don't care. I want the world to know that you're mine. Oh my God. This person is like, fuck anyone that like tries to mess with this because I'm not having it. And I know that they're here to like throw me off my game. They're here to like wreck this. They're here to like turn things upside down, and I'm not having it. Whatever it takes. Oh my God. They like, you know, a twin flame, just in case anyone isn't aware what a twin flame connection is. It's bigger than a normal marriage or relationship, like boyfriend, girlfriend, living together. It doesn't matter how many years you've been together. Okay, that's a kind of textbook relationship. A twin flame is two people who are going to trigger healing in one another. You each have healing to do. So if I give myself as an example, I've always lacked financial abundance. Okay, I've always looked for happiness in relationships. Now, that was in my 20s. Now I'm in my 40s. I am just getting to the point after, because if you're a Taurus, you know, like there's been like 10 years or something really like that, really long, where we've had, like, we've never quite got to where we felt like we should be financially and like career wise. I've been able to focus on finances, I've been able to focus on career for years, but I'm also focused heavily away from relationships and onto my hobbies, my pastimes, finding happiness with it just being me, not being able to seek support, like emotional support from like another person. I really had to like dig deep and like just embrace like singlehood, you know what I mean? And I don't mean dating and being like, it's just me, like it's my eat, pray, love year kind of thing. They had to focus on a set of circumstances, like a living situation and a work situation that they were not comfortable in. But they were just trying to keep up the pretense of trying to keep all the plates spinning, trying to keep it all going, trying to put a brave face on, put a veil over everything, like do what society expects, like it'll pay off, it's the right thing to do, you know, it's humanitarian, it's like, you know, I just need to keep going. And it all like, it was like a tower came down and that person just couldn't keep it going anymore. Um, and they've been forced to like be real and live genuinely and like be honest, you know, like I don't love you anymore, or like I'm not happy in this workplace. um I recognize that things are not serving me, and I've been, you know, dancing to this tune, like worrying about what everyone else feels like for too long. And it's like, oh my God, it's so weird, but basically twin flames, one's a runner and one's a chaser. So you're literally like two flames, like two candles next to each other, and one flame will go that way and the other will chase. And then, yeah, if you're from a healthy, like, if you got healthy, like, sense of connection and attachment style, you like basically go, why am I chasing this person? Like, if they don't want me, they don't want me. So then you stop, okay, and you start going your own way. And then that person goes, what? Why aren't they chasing me anymore? Like, what's going on? I don't like this feeling. And then they start chasing. And they go from being a runner to being a chaser. And you go from being a chaser to being a runner. And it dances like that. And it's like off and on, off and on, off and on. And there's chaos, absolute chaos. and you seem to have longer and longer periods apart. You're apart more than you're together, right? But it gets to the good bit because then you kind of draw a line and you're like, I'm not doing this dance anymore, like, fuck it. It goes like a substantial amount of time with no contact. You both develop yourselves on a personal level, you like ascend. And then the universe creates a situation where you're brought back together and you've each been wanting it, but you weren't like in control. The universe brings you back together. And you get to enjoy the reward of that, okay, together. So it depends on you doing the work, on them doing the work, and then you both get to be with each other. If just one of you does the work, and you might do that work at different time frames, you know, you might find that you start to click onto what's going on, that you're more spiritual or you're more like ascended than them, you're more intuitive than them. But it's often quite a psychic connection as well. So like you're heavily thinking about that person because they're heavily thinking about you. And you'll never get confirmation of that in the 3D. But it's just like a feeling, like in your gut. You're like, my intuition's telling me that this ain't the end. Do you know what I mean? And then you start thinking, I think I'm gaslighting myself here. I think I'm just wanting something to be a kind of way, and it's not going to be. And then you get to a point where you're like, I'm just going to start dating again because I feel like a mug. Because you kept yourself single or you kept yourself to yourself. And then you hear from them or you run into them or you feel called to check, you know, some kind of social media or something where there was nothing a few days ago, nothing a few weeks ago. And then there's a message from them and you're like, what the hell? Because your souls have been reaching out to each other to like say like, look, I've done my homework, I've done my spiritual homework, I'm ready now. Like this is like, I can't believe this is coming out. Because I as a reader interpreted my situation as a twin flame situation, having watched tarot for years, having a good understanding of what a twin flame journey is. I identified my situation as that. And I keep getting confirmation from the long-term narrative of how this is playing out. I keep getting confirmation. Not in the year and a half that we were apart, I was like, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just crazy because it doesn't seem like we'll ever be back together. And then we did. And I'm like, oh. And then I watch other readers and they're like, oh, it's a twin flame. So it's helping me to kind of confirm that I know tarot. But I also love that I've been able to identify my own situation. They'll move heaven and earth to make this like protected. They'll physically and verbally do that. They'll financially do that. Shit. It will cost you. So like some people are not gonna be able to stay in your inner circle and their inner circle, or they're not gonna be able to stay in your outer circle, you know, like your wider circles, social circles. Like it's gonna cost you financially, emotionally, socially, physically, practically, but the cost is worth it because all you do is you weed out the non-believers, you weed out the people who are prepared to keep you unhappy because it suits them. So they don't really love you unconditionally, do they? Because they just want things how it suits them. And you weed out the people who are prejudiced, who have certain views, certain beliefs, certain ideals about how life should be that maybe aren't as evolved as you. They're not there yet, so how can they understand? Do you know what I mean? There's people that actively don't want the best for you. There's people that just want you to, like, shut up and be quiet and keep doing what you're doing because it suits them. And there's people that just haven't got that level of understanding. They haven't got the capacity to understand, because I didn't understand stuff like this 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Not a chance. Not a chance. I would have just cast judgment. I would have been like, terrible. I would have been like, no, it's just passion based, like absolutely wrong, immoral, hope bad things happen to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've evolved, I've ascended, and I understand and have tolerance for things that I didn't understand and have tolerance for previously. So you're going to come across some people in your circles, whether they're close inner circles or wider circles, where they're just not going to be on board with it. They're not going to be able to reconcile with this. So you're going to have to pay that price. But I mean, come on, if someone's in your wider circle, it doesn't really matter. If someone's in your inner circle, maybe it'll grow on them, maybe they'll change their mind. And if they don't, it's not worth you being without the person that you feel you're supposed to be with. It's not, nothing's worth that price, is it? Because that's the ultimate price. Sorry, my tummy's rumbling. You're paying the ultimate price if you let people dictate stuff like that. What's the point in even having any kind of jurisdiction, any kind of like GPS for yourself is taken away? You're just a robot, aren't you? Just a bot. So there's always going to be a cost. But this is your twin flame. You both want it. You're both possessive over it. You're both protective over it. And that's what counts. If anything, it'll bring you together. It's not up to other people what happens now. Hang on, I didn't get did I get that? No. Something about this could be like very non-traditional, outside of the norm, maybe even taboo. If you know each other through work, if there's an age gap, if there's cultural differences, or one of you is already taken, both of you is already taken. Trying to think of other examples. One of you is like from, a high class background, the other's like working class, or like, one of you's very wealthy and there's not something taboo about it. Enlighten. Illumination is near, a period of enlightenment and clarity awaits. Herbs. Nature's gifts are abundant. Utilize herbs for healing and for magic. Oh my god. You're wrong. I want you. There could be some like proper drama going on. And it's gonna get like put in your face. It's gonna be pure drama. Like, think about what drama there could be. People gossiping, like stuff written on social media, people ringing you up, people like coming up to you, like wherever you are, like, oh my god, there's gonna be drama, but this person does not care. They don't care. Like, if anything, it's gonna make them more determined to defend, like fiercely defend what you've got and what this is gonna be. Personal journey. I follow what feels right within me without needing validation from others. Well, come on now. We are each on our own journey, and mine does not need to look like anyone else's. I know people who've done things the textbook way, and they're getting divorced now. I know people who've done things the textbook way and they got cheated on. I know people who've done things the textbook way and they're absolutely fine and they're in love. Okay? But that isn't everyone's story. That's an ideal. And you just never know. Like, you never know. I know people who are getting divorced in their like 60s and 70s. You just never know. Okay? How long is my relationship going to last? Did I do things the right way? Who knows? I probably know a drop in the ocean in terms of knowledge, in terms of like being some sort of oracle on like the universe and why everything happens the way that it does. I feel like I know some. Tarot's helped me to like process a lot of stuff that's happened to me and find reason or rhyme for it, because without that you could go crazy. You know, you could be really angry, you could be really frustrated, really upset, feel really bitter. To try to make sense of things helps, because if it has a reason, you know, you can kind of justify it, you can kind of build some tolerance for it and accept it and reflect and get something good out of it. But there's probably so much I still don't know. But you don't have to do your life in any particular kind of way, because most of that's ego based. Like, oh yeah, I got like married in my early 20s because, you know, that means I'm good looking, that means I'm high value. It means like we've got nice photos where we're young and taut and like we've got loads of like, you know, bridesmaids, or we've got loads of like, it's just people fall, they like succumb to societal expectations, because part of it's like society, part of it's human nature to want to like breed, to want to settle, to want to feel. Some of it's insecurity, some of it's ego. It's just, you know, just because it hasn't happened in that way. If anything, you've got more life experience, you've been through the ringer, you've had many times around the sun, and you know more than most. You know, so it's not just falling in love. It's like I recognize this as like my mirror soul, my twin flame, and it's actually triggered me to heal and ascend and be a better version of myself. How can anyone come up against that and say it's not right? Because you can fall in love with a karmic, you can fall in love with someone who's a soulmate and have a lovely relationship or marriage with them. But to fall in love with a twin flame and trigger healing in both of you and ascend and be like a best version of yourself as a result, it's kind of beautiful. That's kind of fucking beautiful. It like supersedes all of that. It's really fucking nice. So don't compare it to anyone else's journey. My enjoyment and satisfaction is validation enough. Mic drop. I feel bad for Aries because I didn't pull one of those mindful messages for them, but it's just because I forgot, I was distracted. But to be honest, there's a bit of a crossover here with Aries and Taurus. You could be a cusper. If you're late on in Aries season or you're early in Taurus season, you could be a cusper, so it resonates. You know, the Aries reading resonates like the Taurus one does, and vice versa. So check them both out. Always a slightly different narrative, but can sometimes give you even more information, different details. When I had the time, I used to watch signs that are cusp with, and I'd watch my moon sign as well, but I don't these days. A secret wish will soon be granted. Keep your heart open. Stop. See, that could be love, that could be anything, to be honest. Something that you've wished for. Oh, thanks, Dad. Can you bring it in? I can. Thanks.
You had your tea?
No, I'll get it after.
Finished,
Yeah. So you've got 5555 clarity, great transformation, major changes, opportunity, fast pace forward, and process. You aren't a victim of circumstance, rather, you are the beneficiary of it. If that weren't the case, life would be pretty dull. You will set yourself up for success in the long run if you are willing to adapt to this shift. Everything is working out for the best. At long last, you are accomplishing what you set out to do. Everything will work out perfectly in the end. Oh my god. This is like major change. This is like a tower in your life. And it's overwhelming, and it's like means everything, you know, that's been kind of like just samey for so long, like as long as you can remember. I've been feeling like for the last few days, like shit, like I've not had this for so long. Like I've had to just get used to being by myself for so long. And you know, pushing through shit, and like it's fine to like meet up with people and have hookups or like have a go-to person. But everyone deserves to be in love, and everyone deserves to be in a relationship and have that partnership, you know, like we don't have to be solely forever. And it's just such like a long time since I had romance, and it's such a long time since I had the sense of building a life with someone. And this is like this is like a turning point in Taurus's journey, you know. It's a big turning point. It's memorable, it's significant, it's having a huge impact. Have I pulled everything that I need to pull? Yes, because you're already like dealing with each other, so I don't need to get a time in or anything like that. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, and I will see you in the next one, Taurus. What time are we on? 18:49. I don't know whether to take a break to eat my dinner and then come back on, or just push on and eat dinner. Like, the problem is my readings are long ass readings, aren't they? So I'll be eating dinner at like fucking 9 o'clock. That they were quality readings though, let's be honest. There may have been some interruptions during the Aries one, but you know, it's for good reason. I need to put a light on.